Another little video on what to do when you first get a natural henna cone. This is video number 2, and henna is definitely an art form. You have to practice it to get the skills. But when you first get the henna cone and you first want to try something, it's tempting to go straight into doing, and like an Indian design or something floral or something like that. But if you've never handled a cone before, it can be quite tricky to handle the cone and to learn to draw something new at the same time. So to keep it simple, you just need to learn one skill at a time. So at the moment, you need to learn how to handle a henna cone. So if you hold it like you would hold a pen or a pencil, I hold my hand kind of loose. I have the nib between my first finger and middle finger, and then I have my thumb just above. I use my thumb to push, to squeeze, and I use my fingers to draw. Alright, so rather than start off with something that you're not familiar with, like a henna flower, for example, start with something simple that you can do. So maybe write your name, and concentrate on using the henna cone rather than what you're actually doing. If you overcomplicate it, you don't want to set yourself up for failure. So if you just start off with something, squeeze with the thumb at the top, and just go for something simple like your name and just see what happens. Depending on the cone, sometimes you can nail it first time, sometimes you can't. So let's just give this a whirl and see what happens. See how the henna kind of feels. This cone is freshly defrosted, so it can take a little while for it to kind of warm up. Alright, Hayley. You can see at the top of the L there where I've actually touched the acrylic, and I've kind of smudged like this. So with henna, the idea is that you want to keep the cone tip slightly above the surface that you're hennaing. So if I go across while touching, I kind of smudge my line like this and it looks crappy. So you want to lift the cone up slightly while you press, and you see it kind of falls out the nib. So squeeze and lift slightly, and you're almost kind of stretching it across the surface. So try doing a couple of lines and just see how the cone reacts. Keep a tissue nearby, so if you need to wipe the nib, if you want to get kind of the snotty stuff off the end, you can wipe it, keep it clean. And when you're happy with it, try something else that you're used to. So, I mean, I've got 2 daughters, so they love hearts, as girls do. So, do some hearts, things that you're familiar with drawing. See, my cone's not very happy there, so that's why we need to practice, so that you don't commit to skin and then it look rubbish. So I just wipe the tip there, and I'm going to go for some hearts. Let's try that again. So I'm squeezing with the thumb and just moving the tip around with the fingers slightly. I'm going to lift it up so that you can actually see my hand moving. Okay. Focus. So I'm squeezing with the thumb. I'm not touching the board, I'm lifting up slightly and drawing. Sorry, that was a bit off, wasn't it? Let me try that again. The harder you squeeze with the thumb, the thicker the line will be. And the lighter you squeeze with the thumb, the thinner the line will be. So if you want to try different thicknesses, you can do that. If you squeeze too hard, you'll notice the henna will wiggle. So you'll get this kind of, I don't even know what you call it, but if you squeeze too hard, you see the line will kind of wiggle out the end, rather than kind of flowing out in a straight line like this. It'll kind of wiggle out. So if you kind of get wiggly lines, you're pressing a bit too hard. So let's try something else. I'm going to try my name again because that was kind of a bit fluffy. Wasn't pressing hard enough, so the line broke. So even people who are used to using henna need to just warm the cone up, warm your fingers up. Hayley, better. Alright, so I would suggest giving the cone a good squish, warming the henna up, and practicing things that you're used to. Have a go at that and I'll do another video. Thanks, bye.